All right, today we're going to be creating our own puzzle to 3D print. I'm going to click Create, 3D Design. We're going to want to have two pieces that fit together correctly. One of the pieces should have a tab, which is the extra piece sticking out. The other piece should have a blank, which is the missing part where that tab should fit into. And each puzzle piece should say something or have part of a drawing. So to do this, first thing I'm going to do is grab our cube. I'm going to get rid of that. We want it to have a length of 50. Oh, okay. And a width, we'll make that 25. And then a height of 3. Okay, that looks great. And I am going to duplicate this. So in the top left corner, there are 3 squares on top of each other. And I click on those and it makes a copy. And I'm just going to move that copy out of the way. So to make our tab, that thing that sticks out, I'm going to grab a cylinder and I'm going to put my cylinder right here. So right now our cylinder has got a length and width of 20. That looks good. And then I will click on the white circle at the top there. It's got a height of 20. We want to change that height to 3. Okay. And then I'm going to click on that cylinder. And actually, you know what? I am going to resize it. So click on the cylinder. I'm going to click on the white square at the bottom there. And where it says 20, we'll change that to 10. Okay. And where this one says 20, we'll change that one to 10. Okay. That looks great. And now what we need to do, actually, click on your cylinder and let's duplicate that. And so it created a copy right on top. Just put my finger and then drag the copy over there. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, we will only worry about one cylinder and one piece. So I'm going to put my finger on the cylinder and I need to move it so that it is touching the puzzle piece but not going inside, just like this. Okay? And now with it touching, what we can do, zoom in a little bit. So we know that our cylinder is 10 by 10 and we want half of it sticking out. So that means 5 millimeters of it should be sticking out. So that means 5 millimeters of it should be inside the shape. So I'm going to put my finger on the cylinder and I'm just going to start moving it inside the shape. And when I do that, do you see how it says -1, -2, -3, -4? Now we're at -5. So that means that it has moved 5 millimeters into the shape. So half of it is inside and half of it is outside. So that's perfect. One last thing we need to do is we need to make sure that this is in the middle of our shape. So we've selected our cylinder. Now we'll click on our box, the puzzle piece, and then we're going to click on the Align tool. That is right above Shapes. And we want to click on, I'm going to zoom out so it's easier to see, on the side, the black circle in the middle, just like that. So now our cylinder is right in the middle of our puzzle piece. Perfect. And then we want to group those together. So the group button is right above the drop-down menu there in the top row. And when we group them together, they all turn the same color. So that's perfect. And now what we need to do is we need to do the same thing, but a little bit different for our other piece. So our other piece, I'm going to click on the cylinder and I'm going to bring the drop-down menu. We don't want it to be a solid. This time we want it to be a hole. We're going to cut off, not a hole into it, but we are going to cut a piece out. So we're going to do the same thing that we did before where we are going to move this cylinder so that it touches the side but doesn't go inside. Okay, that looks great. And then this cylinder has the same dimension, so we need to move it so that it is 5 millimeters, 4 and 5. Perfect. So half of it is inside, half of it's outside. Let's zoom out, and then we need to make sure it's in the middle. So we selected the cylinder. We need to click on the puzzle piece, the box. We will click our Align tool. We want to click on the black circle that's in the middle on the left-hand side, and then we will group together. And so now what we have got, when we slide them together, they should fit together perfectly, just like that. Awesome. So now what we need to do, our puzzle piece should either be create a whole drawing, so like a heart When the pieces are together, it creates a heart, so top half of the heart would be on the top, and the top half of the heart would be on the bottom, or you could do letters or words. I'm going to do a name tag. So let's see. I'm going to click text, and I'm going to put text right there. And I'm going to change my drop-down menu, and I'm going to say Mr. Perfect. And as you can see, it's a little bit too big for our plate, so I'm going to click on the white square there, and we need to resize it. Let's make it 30 by 15. Okay, that looks great. And it's much too tall, so click on the white square up top there, and it needs to have a height of 3. Click OK. And then we want it to be in the middle of the plate. So I've got my letters selected. I'm going to click on the puzzle piece. I'm going to align them. This time we want to click on the circle that's in the middle at the bottom and the circle that is in the middle on the left-hand side. And then we will group those together, so they should all turn the same color. Awesome. And now what I need to do is I am going to add Heartly at the bottom, but I'm going to do it where I draw a heart. So I'm going to click on the scribble tool right here, and I'm going to put it right there, and I want to draw a heart just like that, and then click done. It is obviously much too big, so let's resize it. Click on heart. We will change this to 15, and we will change this one to 15, okay. And then I will put it right there, okay. And then, as you can tell, it's much too tall, so click on the height. I want to change the height to 3, okay. And then I need to add L-E-Y, so I'm going to click on text. I'm going to put it right there. Bring down the drop-down menu, change text to L-E-Y. Awesome. And I am going to change it to a height of 15. Okay. And then a width of, why don't we do 20? Actually, let's try 15 and see what that looks like. How's that look? Okay, I think that looks good. Perfect. And then we need to change the height of it. So I'm going to click on the white square up top there, and it needs to be a height of 3. Okay. And now what we want to do is we've selected the L-E-Y. I'm going to move my heart a little bit closer. So select the heart, select the heart, and then the letters. And then we will want to click on our puzzle plate. So we selected all 3 shapes. We want it to be, oh, no, not that one. Let's try it again. Align. Perfect. And select heart, letters, puzzle piece. And let's group those together. And so they all turn the same color. And then when I move it, we have got Mr. Hartley puzzle. Awesome.